Hello students and welcome back. Today we're going to learn about social and cognitive motivation. So cognitive influences on motivation. Cognitive influences on motivation. So the last time we talked about how drives push us to do things. Well, incentives work in the opposite way. They help to pull us when we don't necessarily want to do something. Incentive motivation. There are really two types of incentive motivations. The first one is intrinsic motivation. And intrinsic motivation or intrinsic rewards, they arise internally, such as a feeling of accomplishment when a goal is met, something that you do because you just enjoy it. Extrinsic motivation, on the other hand, is motivation that comes from outside sources, like getting money for completing a job or getting praise from a supervisor. These different types of reward can interact in complex ways. Edward Deci did an experiment studying can extrinsic rewards help increase intrinsic motivation. And what he found was actually something called the overjustification effect. And the overjustification effect is essentially this. When you try to give someone extrinsic motivations or rewards for something that they already found to be intrinsically motivating, what tends to happen is intrinsic motivation goes down. So for example, if a child really enjoys reading, but suddenly they now get paid for each book they complete, the child's enjoyment of reading might decrease because the motivation shifts from intrinsic, the love of reading, to extrinsic, the love of reward money. So what about cash for grades? Would this work? What if we pay kids to get good grades? Let's find out. And then the other thing that can be motivating for us is a need for achievement. Some of us are motivated simply because we want to be the best or we want to be better than other people. So achievement motivation is another type of cognitive motivation as well. Social influences on motivation. So affiliation is being connected to others, being part of a community or family. Ostracism is exclusion from a group. Why do we do this? So affiliation, being part of a group, helps build our self-esteem. It encourages loyalty to our friends, groups, and families that we belong to. From an evolutionary perspective, humans depend on each other for survival as well as emotional security. Loneliness has negative implications for physical health as well as psychological well-being. And isolation is used as an extreme punishment in almost every single culture. Feelings of acceptance and belonging increase pro-social behavior, and feelings of rejection can inhibit pro-social behavior. In one study, Jean Twenge and colleagues told participants either that they would end up alone later in life or that they would enjoy rewarding relationships throughout their lives based on sham personality tests. Those who envisioned a future alone showed very little pro-social action in their lives, but those who envisioned a future of belonging showed much more. Is affiliation a strong motivator for people? Further going along with the evolutionary perspective, so some of the reasons why social affiliation works for us. So from an evolutionary perspective, why do we need social motivation? So some of the ideas here: keeping children close to our caregivers, mutual protection in a group, cooperation for hunting and food sharing. This allows a division of labor to develop, and emotional support to get through crises. These are some of the reasons why evolutionary psychologists believe we developed a need for affiliation. And lastly, we're going to talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So Abraham Maslow was a psychologist who studied human qualities and exemplary people. And he basically said that we're always striving towards self-actualization. Self-actualization is a person's motivation to reach your full potential. Basically, you have primitive needs that need to be met before you can focus on self-actualization. So the first level and the most basic is physiological stuff. So homeostasis, breathing, food, water, excretion, things like that. Once you have those things in place, then you can move to the safety level. So this is about security of body, of employment, of resources, morality. Then you move to the love or belonging. So then you can focus on friendship, family, intimacy. Moving on to esteem. And so then we're getting into, you can focus on self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect. Then, only then can you get to self-actualization. So being your most spontaneous, creative, best version of yourself. We're going to watch a short video about Abraham Maslow's theory of self-actualization and some criticisms as well. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I have for you today. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a fantastic day.